Hi BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to talk about the TBR Jar. I started the TBR Jar about 2 years ago. My first day filming on BookTube was January 14th, 2014, and I was so excited to use the TBR Jar. Everybody, all the booktubers had one, and they would pick their little books out, and they would be happy with what they got, and they would read that book, and they would review it, and I never could follow through. I think I did one this year, and I think I even talked about the TBR Jar last year. And if I did, I will leave the video down below. But basically, I was like really determined this year to actually use this TBR Jar, and I'm pretty sure in January I picked up 180 Days Around the World by Jules Verne, and I read it, and it was the children's illustrated edition of the classic, and so it was really easy to read. I read it with my son. He loved it. And I was, that was my first pick of the year, and I was like, well, this is really good. And then the second pick was The Giver, and I never got to it. And then my third pick was a fairy book, and I never got to it. And then I never picked up the TBR Jar again. And I just don't know. It doesn't cross my mind because of the themes that I choose for the month, or the readathons that I am a part of, or all of the library books that I have borrowed. It doesn't coincide with the TBR Jar. So let me know down below what you think about TBR Jars. I don't know if I want to continue with it. I do think it is a valid thing to have if you are having a hard time choosing what to read. It is very exciting to pick a book out of here, and it's like opening a present. Ooh, what book am I going to get this time? But at the same time, if you don't like the book, then you don't really want to read it, and then you end up not using the TBR Jar. So how do you use your TBR Jar? If you pick a book out and you don't like it, do you stick it back in and then pick a different one? Maybe I'll do that instead of just going, I will definitely stick to this TBR. I have seen people who have instead of having the title of the book, they will have read a YA horror, or read a middle grade fantasy, or read a book that's been on your shelf for 6 months. I like the challenge ones. Those seem a lot better in my opinion, because then you have like a huge variety of books you can choose from to meet that challenge goal. I don't know. So yeah, it is almost January, and I haven't gone through this TBR Jar in a really long time. I'm sure I have books in here that I have already read that need to be thrown away, but I haven't filled this jar up, I want to say in like 6 months, maybe longer. I used to be really good about sticking stuff in here once I got the books, but since then I've not been putting it in the jar, and I haven't been writing it down in my handy dandy notebook. I've been adding it to my Goodreads, and because it's electronic, it's a lot easier for me. And so the Goodreads list of owned books is pretty on point, but definitely not the TBR Jar. So yeah, I will probably keep the books in here, and maybe I will try, say, picking 3 out next year and then choosing one of the 3. Maybe that'll be easier for me. I don't know. Let me know down below what you think. Let me know what you do with your TBR Jar if you have one, and if you think choosing either, say, a challenge to put in the TBR Jar or an actual title of the books that you already own on your shelves, if that makes more sense. And that is it. I will see you again tomorrow with another Vlogmas video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.